So today we're going to continue our discussion on the path to durable complete remissions, and we'll be starting a series that focus on hormonal therapy. And for prostate cancer, that means reducing the concentration of androgens, the male sex hormones, in the cancer cell. Two forms of male sex hormone are testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. I think there's no question based on laboratory data, it's dihydrotestosterone that is the form of testosterone the cancer uses to grow. However, in the circulation, testosterone is in large amounts and converted to dihydrotestosterone in a variety of places. How does the cancer cell respond to testosterone or dihydrotestosterone? Well, inside the cell, there's a protein called the androgen receptor. And this protein has several component parts. There's one end that twists in space so that it fits around testosterone or dihydrotestosterone. It's responsible for the specificity of this protein. It will not bind to estrogen or progesterone or other hormones. So this creates specificity. There's a flexible hinge region, and then another piece that is responsible for binding to DNA. So when this receptor binds to dihydrotestosterone, the protein changes in such a way that it goes to the nucleus of the cell, binds to the DNA, and triggers the gene expression needed for the cancer to grow and spread. Conversely, if the levels are too low, not only does the cell not grow and spread, it starts to die. So the androgens that we talked about, testosterone, dihydrotestosterone, not only stimulate growth and spread, but at a certain level are essential for survival. And so the heart of hormonal therapy has been to take away testosterone, dihydrotestosterone. That's what Lupron does. So one of the real revelations of the last few years is that true hormone resistance is indeed quite rare. It seems that no matter how advanced the cancer, how resistant to treatment, the testosterone receptor is still essential for the cancer to grow and spread. In breast cancer, we have estrogen receptor negative breast cancer. Prostate cancer is really pretty rare to have an androgen receptor missing. We did 388 cases, looking at 388 cases with Caris Life Sciences, and only 3 out of 388 were androgen receptor negative. So what's emerged from the research is that prostate cancer is like a crack addict. And it shows all that cleverness and deviousness to get its fix. What are the mechanisms of resistance that we know about? And again, this is probably incomplete. One very common mechanism of resistance, the cancer makes more androgen receptor, like having a big cell in a light wind, to trap enough testosterone molecules in order to grow and survive. That's actually quite common. Another interesting technique the cancer uses is to take cholesterol and convert it to testosterone and then dihydrotestosterone. Till Zytiga came around and proved to be so effective, I don't think any of us had any idea just how common that is. And then, of course, in the previous talk, we mentioned how the cancer cell is getting that cholesterol from LDL. And so keeping a low LDL is an important part of this. More recently, another really clever mechanism. The cancer just chops off, has an androgen receptor where the testosterone binding domain has been thrown away, and you just have the DNA binding domain. And so nothing's needed. You don't need any testosterone for this truncated receptor to go to the nucleus and cause growth. There are other mechanisms. There are other growth pathways in cells that can cause phosphate groups to be added to the testosterone receptor that make it far more powerful. So, one by one, researchers, drug companies have been developing strategies to attack each of these mechanisms of hormone resistance. Not hormone resistance, but devious ways of getting a fix. So, go back to the very first video. How do you overcome resistance? Well, you attack the cancer by several different mechanisms. Remember the thought experiment where if you had 3 agents, each with a 1 in 100 chance of resistance, resistance to 2 of them would be 1 over 100 times 1 over 100, 1 in 10,000. Three agents, different mechanism of action, becomes 1 in a million. Well, ironically, because of the importance of the androgen receptor, this same mathematics plays out with hormonal therapy. So if you systematically attack multiple different mechanisms by which the cancer might survive Lupron, you decrease statistically the odds of resistance emerging. This is why some form of combined androgen blockade makes eminently good sense. In the past, well, we didn't have such great agents. Now we do. This year at ASCO, an initial attempt has been made to combine Xtandi, that's enzalutamide, with Zytiga, abiraterone. So Xtandi attacks cells that have amplified the androgen receptor, and Zytiga prevents cholesterol from going to testosterone. This is a superb idea. It's rendered difficult because the specific details of how these two drugs work make it difficult. Xtandi stimulates the liver to destroy Zytiga more rapidly than otherwise, and Zytiga requires prednisone, which makes Xtandi less effective. Nevertheless, the combination had its promise. We have new agents coming along other than Xtandi and Zytiga that attack the same targets. So I think the strategy, the fundamental strategy, is a valid one, and that is shut off all the possible sources for testosterone, and it'll make it much more difficult. Now, it's a tendency in prostate cancer treatment to do these in sequence, and this makes absolutely no sense. Your first shot, if you've got metastatic disease, your first shot at a durable complete remission is the first shot. So the cocktails should be tested up front. We won't see what Xtandi and Zytiga can do until they're applied as part of initial treatment. But of course, this is difficult. We've been able to do that, get insurance coverage, and so it's our standard to combine these agents as part of initial treatment. Combined androgen blockade updated with the new drugs, and to lower the cholesterol so that cancer has less fuel to make testosterone. This is being fueled by just beautiful work. There's a generation of young investigators that have come into the field that have done some of the most brilliant work I've seen since I've been in the field. And so it's not me doing it, I'm reading these papers, and I'm just stunned at the elegance of some of the work. But we'll use them fast. Anyway, this is the first of a series on androgen deprivation.